Right, children. Now we are going to start the exercise of this lesson. As I told you all in the previous chapter, remember, before you do this exercise, before you watch the video, you all have to do the exercise. Write the answers all by yourselves. And when I explain the answers, check whether you have done it right. Okay, children? Right. So we are going to start with the exercise questions given in the textbook, right? Okay, exercise. Choose the best answer. Number 1. Animals that consume only plants or plant materials are known as mode of nutrition of animals. So there are 3 different types of the groups of animals based on the things they eat. Carnivores, herbivores, omnivores. Who are the animals that consume only plants or plant materials, children? They are known as herbivores, right? Herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, plant eaters. They eat plants, but a proper name is given called herbivores. Right. Number 2. Plants do not use in producing food. So what is the term given to this process, children? Producing food is known as photosynthesis. Do you remember what are the 4 factors affecting photosynthesis or 4 factors needed for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide gas, water present in the soil, chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay? So plants do not use sunlight or solar power is used, right? Water is also used. Carbon dioxide gas is also absorbed, used, and oxygen. Oxygen is, during photosynthesis, oxygen is produced as a byproduct. Okay? So this is not used. All these 3 things are used for photosynthesis. Okay? Right. Number 3. Select the false sentence. A food web is created by interconnecting number of different food chains. You have to select the false one, right? A food web is created by interconnecting number of different food chains. This is correct, right, children? Now, part B. The first link of a food chain is known as a producer. Do you remember we learned that when you consider a food chain, there are different links. Based on the number of organisms, the number of links are also given, right? The first link is always a plant, right? That is because plants can produce their own food, and the first link is known as the producers, and all the other links are known as consumers. Therefore, the first link of a food chain is known as a producer. This is true. You have to find the false sentence, right? The second link of a food chain may be an animal that consumes plants. That also can happen, which means herbivores. That's right, okay? The first link is always a green plant and it's known as a producer. Let's write green plant. We'll write an example. Rabbit, fox. Okay? So this is the first link. This is the second link. And the third link. Right, children? The second link of a food chain may be an animal that consumes plants. Second link consumes plants. That is correct. Right? Second link has to be a herbivore or an omnivore. Okay? Right. So this is also true. The third link of a food chain is always an omnivore. The third link. Now here in this case, fox is a carnivore. Right, children? But this can be an omnivore as well, right? Because omnivores consume both meat or the flesh and plant parts. Therefore, it's always an omnivore is wrong. Most of the time this becomes a carnivore. Okay, therefore, the third link of a food chain is always an omnivore. That can be an omnivore, but most of the time, most of the examples we discussed about the third link was a carnivore. Right, children? So, this is not true. Select the false sentence. The third link of a food chain is always an omnivore. No, it can be an omnivore or a carnivore. Right. Okay, number 4. Plant, grasshopper, blank, monitor. Right? What is the most suitable sentence about the animal that should be in the blank? It is definitely an omnivore. Now, even earlier we discussed the third link can be an omnivore or a carnivore. So, it's definitely an omnivore is not correct. Okay? It is not a herbivore. That can be true because the second link is a herbivore or an omnivore. Okay, now here grasshopper, it's a herbivore. Now, this third link should be an animal who feeds on grasshopper. Right? If it feeds on grasshopper or if it feeds on another animal, it definitely can't be a herbivore because herbivores are the animals who feeds only on plant materials. Okay? So, this is correct. It's not a herbivore, but we are going to read the rest of the answers as well. It's definitely a carnivore. No. It can be a carnivore or an omnivore. Right? All the above are incorrect. No. The correct answer is there. It is not a herbivore. That is definitely a correct answer. Because herbivores contain only as the second link or first consumer. Okay? Therefore, this is the answer. It is not a herbivore. Right, children? Number 2. Build up 3 food chains that can be seen in freshwater pond. Now we know so many examples for these things, right? Check whether you have done it correctly. I will start with now all the food chains have to be started with a plant, okay? Aquatic plant because this is aquatic environment. Aquatic plant. Aquatic plant. Tadpole. Tadpole. You can write fish or big fish. Okay? And we'll write stock. Right, children? Then aquatic plant. Aquatic plant. Fish. Kingfisher. Kingfisher. Right. Aquatic plant. Water snail. Frog. Water snake. Right, children? So build up 3 food chains. 1, 2, 3. The tadpole eats aquatic plants. Fish eats tadpole. Stork eats the fish. Right? The fish eats the aquatic plant. The kingfisher eats the fish. And water snail eats aquatic plants. And frog eats water snails. And water snake eats frog. Okay, children? We'll move on to the next. Right. Answer the given questions referring to the following food chain. Look at the food chain. Grass, grasshopper, frog, cobra. Okay. Name the producer of the food chain. The producer is always the first link, and producer is always a green plant. Therefore, who is the producer? Grass. Okay? We'll write here grass. Name a herbivore in the food chain. Herbivore always have to be the second link or the first consumer. Therefore, the grasshopper. Okay? Grasshopper. Right, children? Number 3. How many links are there in the food chain? So what is the meaning of number of links? The link represent one organism, right? So how many organisms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many links? 4 links are there, right? How many links are there in the food chain? 4 links. And finally, how many consumers are there in the food chain? How many consumers? Now you all know that the first link is known as the producer. All the other links are known as the consumers. So grass is the producer, grasshopper, frog and the cobra are the consumers. How many consumers, children? 3 consumers, right? 3 consumers. Right. So we completed the activity given in the textbook. Now we are going to do some extra questions as well. Right. Exercise number 1. Underline the most suitable answer. Okay. Animals that consume both flesh and plant materials are called. Now you all know the answer for this one. Animals who depend only on plant materials are known as herbivores. Animals who depend only on flesh are known as carnivores. And animals who depend on both flesh and plant materials are known as, what is the answer, children? Omnivores, right? So animals that consume both flesh and plant materials are called herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, consumers. Answer is omnivores. Number 2. The answer that has herbivores is, right? Cow, dog, human. Cow is a herbivore, but dog and human, they are omnivores, right? Cow, elephant, rabbit. They all are herbivores, but we are going to read the other answers too. Cow, dog, crow. Dog and crow both are omnivores. Therefore, only cow is the herbivore. Elephant, rabbit, lion. Elephant and rabbit are herbivores, but lion is definitely a carnivore, right? Therefore, what is the answer with only herbivores? Cow, elephant, rabbit. Right. Number 3. A food web is. What is a food web? Now, food web is made by combining number of food chains, okay? Let's go through this. The competition among animals for food. No, that is not the food web. The type of web used to obtain food. No. A diagram that shows the interrelationships among animals and plants for food. Yes, that is a food web. The last answer, a web used to catch prey. No. Answer is 3. A diagram that shows the interrelationships among animals and plants for food. Right, children? Number 4. The first link of a food chain is, what is the first link of a food chain? Is always a green plant. It's known as a producer, okay? A green plant, an animal, a rabbit, a bird. The first link has to be an organism who can produce their own food. So it must be a green plant because green plants can do photosynthesis and that can produce their own food, okay? So it has to be a green plant. Animals are animal, rabbit, bird. They all are coming under animals anyway. So they all are heterotrophic. They cannot produce their own food. They are consumers, okay? Number 5. A thing that does not happen if an organism which belongs to a particular link in a food chain is destroyed. Do you remember we learned this, right? So the plants consumed by deer and then leopards. So we learned that when all the leopards die, first the number of deers will increase, and then what will happen? The present amount of plants will not be enough for all the deer, therefore then the number of deer will reduce. Okay? So a thing that does not happen if an organism which belongs to a particular link in a food chain is destroyed, right? Breaking the balance of the environment, it will definitely happen because all the organisms are equally important to maintain the balance of the environment. If one set of organisms are removed from the environment, it will definitely break the balance of the environment, right? So this happens. Decrease or increase the number of other links also happens. Now here, when this one decreases, this one increases. Then again, when this one increases, this link decreases. Okay? Number of the other organisms remains the same. No. That is what? That does not happen. It can never remain the same because they are connected with each other. Right? None of the above. So this is the thing that does not happen. The number of other organisms will not remain the same. Right, children? Number 6. An example of a vulnerable species is, now we learn about giant panda, right? Earlier it was an endangered species. Now recently they were named as a vulnerable species. They were upgraded because numbers were slightly increased, okay? Giant panda. Dinosaurs are already extincted animals, right? Dog, goldfish. So giant panda is the answer. Right. 7. The herbivore is always the which in a food chain? First link, second link, third link, last link. It should be the second link. I will show you. Right. So grass, rabbit, fox. Right. Okay. So when you consider this is the first link and this is the second link and this is the third link. Right? So the herbivore is the second link. The first link is always a green plant. All the other animals are consumers. So herbivore is a type of animal, right? So herbivore should be the one that is next to plants. Therefore, it must be the second link. Okay? The herbivore is always the second link. Number 8. Look, there's a blank. We have to find the answer suitable for this blank. Grass, blank, frog, cobra. So the second link has to be an omnivore or a herbivore who feeds on plants. Right? So giant panda is a herbivore, but we can't put here because the next animal is frog. Frog cannot eat giant panda. So dinosaurs, no, they are already extincted. Dogs, they don't eat grass, therefore we can't put here. Goldfish, now in that case, we have to put this, not only grass, we'll consider this as aquatic plants, right? Aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. So in that case, we have to take goldfish, right? Because frogs can eat goldfish and then cobra eats the frog. Okay? So we have to, in this example, we have to take as the most suitable answer is goldfish when you consider the next link. Right, children? Okay. Number 9. So here there are 3 statements given. You have to find the true statements. Okay? A. A linear sequence that starts from a green plant and shows the flow of energy from one living organism to another is known as a food web. No, this is wrong, right? This is known as a food chain, right, children? So, linear sequence that starts from a green plant and shows the flow of energy from one living organism to the other is known as a food chain. It's not the food web. Therefore, A is wrong. When there is a large diversity in food consumed by animals, their existence is more established. That is correct, right? When they depend on different types of food items, even though one food item is not there, they can survive, right? So their existence is more established, okay? Every animal has a right to live free in the environment. That is also correct. Therefore, B and C are correct. Okay, the true statements. A, B, C. Number 10. In a food chain, green plants are known as producers because what is the reason? In a food chain, to provide food for all the other links, the first link has to produce food by itself. Okay, children? So, food chain, green plants are known as produce because they can do photosynthesis and produce their own food. Okay? They are the first link? No. They absorb soil, water? No. It supplies food to the other links of the food chain. That is the answer. They release oxygen gas during photosynthesis? No. They are considered as producers because all the other links depend on them, consume the food produced by them. Right? So, it supplies food to the other links. Right. We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 2. Look at the pictures given. There are animals and plant. Grasshopper, cow, fish, squirrel, myna, parrot, earthworm, crab, cat, butterfly, lion, green plant. Okay? Number 1. Choose a few organisms from the plants and animals given in the above image and build up a food web. We have to build up a food web. We'll do it now. We can do it in different ways. Your food web doesn't have to be exactly like mine because there are different ways of making food webs, okay? Right. We'll take this. Right. We can always start with the green plant. Green plant, right, is the producer. Can take parrot. And grasshopper also depends. Grasshopper also depends. Then we can write, okay, squirrel, okay, that's enough. And then we can write, the cat eats the squirrel. And the grasshopper too. We can even here write cow. And lion. Right, children? What are the other ways? We can write this one as well. Cats eat birds, therefore we can write that as well. Okay? So you can make your food web in different ways, children. Okay? Right. So green plant, the parrot eats the green plant, the cat eats the parrot. Grasshopper is the green plant and the cat eats the grasshopper. Squirrel eats the green plant and the cat eats the squirrel. Cow eats the green plant and the lion eats the cow. Okay? Right. Next one. Write 2 food chains in the above food web. How many food chains are there? Green plant, parrot, cat. 1. Green plant, cow, lion. 2. Green plant, grasshopper, cat. 3. And green plant, squirrel, cat. 4. There are 4 food chains in this food web. Okay? So we have to write 2 of them. We'll write green plant, cow, lion, green plant, grasshopper, cat. Right. Green plant, cow, lion, green plant, grasshopper, cat. Okay, children. Number 1, number 2. Write 2 food chains in the above food web. Green plant, cow, lion, green plant, grasshopper, cat. Okay? Write the number of links present in the above food chains. There are 2 food chains. How many links are there in the first food chain? 1, 2, 3. The number of organisms gives the number of links. Okay? 1, 2, 3. 3 links. Number 2, how many links? Again, 1, 2, 3 links. Okay? Number 4. Who is the producer of these food chains? The producer is always the first link. Okay? It gives energy to all the other organisms. Therefore, it is the producer. So, the green plant is the producer. Green plant. Right, children? Next one. Write 1 animal belonging to the following categories from the above picture. Write 1 animal belonging to the following categories from the above picture. Right. Herbivore. So there are different number of herbivores here. Grasshopper is a herbivore. Right. Cow, squirrel, parrot, butterfly, they all are herbivores. Right. And carnivore, lion is a carnivore. Okay, children, lion is a carnivore. We can write. Herbivore, cow, carnivore, lion. Right? Write 1 animal belonging to the following categories from the above picture. Herbivore, cow, carnivore, lion. Right? We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 3. A set of animals is given here. Parrot, tiger, python, earthworm, turtle, centipede, whale, kingfisher. Right? Answer the following questions using the above set of animals. Right? Name 2 carnivores. You can write many. Here, tiger, python, centipede, they all are carnivores. Okay? Let's write 2 carnivores. Therefore, we'll write 2. Tiger, python. Right. What is the habitat of the earthworm? You all know that earthworm lives in soil. So their habitat is soil. Okay? Soil. Write 2 adaptations of the whale to live in water. What are the adaptations, children? You all know that whales have a streamlined, the fish-like body shape. Right, children? That is one adaptation because of the presence of this streamlined body shape. What is the meaning of streamlined shape? This is the streamlined shape, children. Fish-like body shape. Now, whale has a streamlined shape. Because of this one, they can easily move through the water currents. That is one. And you all know that to swim, they have flippers. Their forearms are converted to flippers. Right, children? We'll write them. Number 1, write 2 adaptations. Adaptations means special characteristics of the whale to live in water. Streamlined body shape. Number 2, flippers to swim. Flippers to swim. Right, and at the same time, because they have to move through water, their nostrils. Now, whale is a type of mammal, right? It has nostrils, but these nostrils are changed to blowholes. Now, blowhole present on the surface of the whale. Okay, children? So, that's another adaptation, but we are asked to write only 2. Right. Which appendages are used by the turtle for locomotion? Now, turtles also swim in the oceans. Therefore, they also have, instead of proper legs, they also have flipper-like structures to swim. Okay? They also have flippers. Flippers. Name an animal that doesn't have any appendage for locomotion. Now, you all know different animals, they have different body parts or appendages for locomotion. What is locomotion, children? Animals moving from one place to another place. Okay? Now, an animal that doesn't have any appendage, any body part. What are the animals? Now, you all know that parrots, the flying animals, they have wings. Some animals, they have legs, right? The swimming animals, they have fins or flippers to swim. Okay? Now, when you consider python and earthworm, they don't have any appendage. Therefore, name an animal, we'll write python. Okay. Number 6. The earthworm is the farmer's friend. What is the reason for this? Do you know the reason for this, children? You all know that earthworms live in soil. So when they move through the soil becomes porous. Porous means the in-between soil particles, the pores or small holes appear. So in that case, these soil particles can, in these holes, in these pores, they can keep water and air. You all know that for plant growth, the plant roots need a lot of water and air. Right? So when there are more pores present in the soil, these pores can retain adequate amounts of water and air. Right, children? This will help in plant growth. This is why earthworm is considered as farmer's friend. And another reason is earthworms can decay those organic substances, the different plant and animal matter present in soil. And thereby, by breaking down, by decaying these substances, those nutrients present in the organic matter will added to soil and the soil will become rich. Okay. So, because of those reasons, the earthworm is considered as the farmer's friend. Okay. Let's write. Earthworm burrows. Earthworm burrows. Increase the porosity of soil. thereby the soil can retain water and air well. So this water and air is essential for plant growth, okay? Right, number 7. A food chain cannot be written using only the above animals. Explain why. Look at this one again, children. Now here, a set of animals are given here. Right, children? Why can't we write a food chain using these animals only, children? Because we all know now, to write a food chain, not only animals, there must be a green plant too. Because green plants produce food for all the other animals. So without a green plant, we can't write a food chain only with these animals. Okay? Right, let's write. Green plants produce food and provide to the other links. The links of a food chain. Therefore, green plant act as the first link of a food chain. Of a food chain. As there is no green plant in the above list, we cannot write a food chain. Okay? Green plants produce food and provide to the other links of a food chain. Therefore, green plants act as the first link of a food chain. As there is no green plant in the above list, we cannot write a food chain. Okay? We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 4. A note from the diary of Malithi, who went on a field trip to the Singharaja forest, is given below. Right, the first one. Some animals have a proboscis to feed on juice. Today I observed an animal sucking the sap of a plant and drew an image of the proboscis. Moving forward, in the forest, animals with sharp pointed teeth and claws were found. Okay. Next one. Some animals among the trees are difficult to identify. Those animals resemble the trunks and leaves of trees. What do you think of this, children? This must be camouflage, right? The forest is decorated with colorful striped animals. I saw a large crocodile and a few tortoises today, right? Read the above information and answer the questions. We'll go to the questions. Right. Name an animal with a proboscis. What is the proboscis, children? Some animals like butterflies, moths, right? They have a special appendage because they feed on the plant nectar, the flower's nectar. They have a special appendage to feed on these nectar, right? So look carefully. If this is the Head of the butterfly, if this is the thorax and the abdomen, right? And they have antennas like this, and here they have a proboscis. Okay? So this proboscis is inserted in the flowers and nectar is sucked using this proboscis. Okay? So name an animal with a proboscis. Example, butterfly, moths, right? We'll write butterfly, butterfly. What can be the food of animals with sharp teeth and claws? We discussed this under different types of animals, right? Do you remember we learned about carnivores? They feed on flesh, right? So those animals, to tear meat, they need these type of sharp teeth and claws, okay? So what can be the food of animals with sharp teeth and claws? Most probably the flesh of the other animals, okay? Flesh of other animals. Flesh of other animals. Right, children? Number 3. To which category do the above type of animals belong according to the type of food they eat? Who are these animals, children? The animals that who eat on the other animals' flesh? Carnivores. Carnivores. Right. Number 4. Name an animal with colorful patterns. You all know there are different animals. Butterflies are there. Caterpillars are there, right? So because we wrote butterfly here, now caterpillar is one stage of the butterfly, but we'll write here. Caterpillar. Right? Next one. What is the benefit of the above colorful patterns? Now, even in this description, it says some animals among the trees are difficult to identify. What do you think is the reason? Some animals' body colors nicely blend with the environmental color, children, so that we cannot understand whether this animal is in that particular environment or not, right? What is the importance? So these type of adaptations are known as camouflage. Their body shape or the body color nicely blends with the environment they live in. Right, children? So these type of adaptations are very important for those type of animals. Now let's say that when we consider butterflies, some other animals feed on butterflies. So these animals are known as the predators of butterflies. So when butterflies and caterpillars, when they have these type of different body colors that blends with the environment, their predators cannot identify them clearly. Therefore, they can be safe from their predators. On the other hand, children, sometimes some predators also have these type of different body patterns, right? That is because now they also have to find something to eat. They have to find their prey, right? So they can reach, they can get close to their prey without being seen. Therefore, these type of body patterns, the different color patterns, right? Different colors or body patterns are very important for the predators also to find their prey. Okay? Right. So here, now here we wrote an example, name an animal with colorful patterns, caterpillar. So when we consider the caterpillar, for the caterpillar, these body patterns, the colors are very important to be protected from the predators, okay? Right. What is the benefit of the above colorful patterns? To avoid predators. But when we consider about predators, again these type of colorful patterns are important to sneak up on their prey, okay? But here we are, earlier as the example, we wrote the caterpillar. To match that one, we are going to write to avoid predators, okay? What is locomotion? Now earlier also we discussed what is locomotion. Locomotion means moving from one place to another place, okay? moving from one place to another place. Name two animals that locomote by running and flying. Running and flying. We'll write, we have many examples. Running, cheetah. Cheetah run from one place to another place. Flying, we can write bird's name. Crow. Right, children? Why are plants called producers? So what is the reason, children? We all know now plants can do photosynthesis and they can produce their own food. Okay? So the food produced by the plants are consumed by all the other animals in the food chain. Right, children? Therefore, plants are known as producers because they supply food for all the other animals in the food chain. Right? Let's write. Now, these type of questions are very, very easy for you all to answer. Plants produce their own food by photosynthesis. Animals directly or indirectly depend on plants. Therefore, plants are called producers. Right, children? Plants produce their own food by photosynthesis. Animals directly or indirectly depend on plants. Therefore, plants are called producers. Okay? Animals cannot produce their own food. They have to depend on plants. Right? We'll move on to the next. Number 5. Again, set of animals is given. Millipede, cobra, fish, crow, butterfly. Choose and write the animals that show the following characteristics. Carnivore. Now, millipede is a herbivore. Cobra is a carnivore. Fish can be considered as omnivore. Crow also omnivore. Butterfly, herbivore. Right? Carnivore. Cobra. Carnivore means the animals who eat only flesh of the other animals. Omnivore, crow. They eat both plant and animal matter. With fins, fish. Fish can swim with fins. Fish. Right. With wings, butterfly. Butterfly can fly and also crow. Okay. We'll write one. Butterfly. Now here we can write omnivore, crow. We can consider fish also as omnivore. With fins, fish. With wings, butterfly and crow both. Okay, children? Right. Okay. Additional exercise number 6. The following figure shows the interactions between plants and animals for food. Look at this one. What is this, children? Now, you all know this is a food web. Right here, it starts from here if you observe carefully. Paddy plant. Grasshopper eats the plant. Lizard is the grasshopper. Cobra is the lizard. Paddy bug or rice bug, another way, right? Paddy bug eats the paddy plant. Myna, it's a bird, eats the paddy bug or the rice bug, and the cobra eats myna. Here blank is given. What is the above connection called? What is this? This is called a food web. Food web. Right. Next one. Name the following links of the above diagram. Producer. Now producer is always the green plant. Now what is the green plant here? Paddy plant. Okay. Paddy plant. An organism that is suitable for X. We'll consider this is X. X has to be someone who feeds on paddy bug, and cobra should feed on X as well. We can write frog here. Right, the frog feeds on paddy bug because frog is an insectivorous, feeds on insects, and cobra feeds on the frog. Okay, we can write that frog. A herbivore who eats plants. Grasshopper. Right, we can write the grasshopper. Right. The next one. Write a food chain with 4 links in the above connection. 4 links means there should be 4 organisms. Okay. Let's see. Paddy plant, we can write paddy plant, grasshopper, myna, cobra. Right? Or we can write paddy plant, paddy bug, myna, cobra. Paddy plant, grasshopper, lizard, cobra. We'll write paddy plant, grasshopper, lizard, cobra. Paddy plant, grasshopper, lizard, cobra. So write a food chain with 4 links. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? How many consumers are there in the food chain you wrote? Always the first link is the producer. All the other links are the consumers. Right? So how many consumers if this is the producer? 1, 2, 3 consumers. 3 consumers. Right. Name the first and the last links of the food chain you wrote. What is the first link? Paddy plant. What is the last link? Cobra. First link, paddy plant. Last link, cobra. Right, children? Name a herbivore that depends on only one type of food. There are some animals who depend only on one type of food. Now, we did an example during the lesson. What is the animal? Giant panda. Giant panda depends on bamboo. Giant panda. Right. What energy flows along a food chain? Now, even this one we discussed, children. Do you remember I explained y'all? The producers can produce their food using the solar energy. But when they produce food, what type of energy is contained in the food, children? That is chemical energy. So when consumers consume or use up this energy present in plants, that chemical energy flows through the food chain. Right? So what energy flows along a food chain? Chemical energy. Chemical energy. Right? We move on to the next. Exercise 7. Look at this. A food web is given. Paddy plant, rice bug or paddy bug, frog, eagle, cat, and rat. Okay. Write a food chain using the above plants and animals. Now we can write number of food chains, right? So we can write paddy plant, rice bug, frog, eagle, paddy plant, rat, eagle, paddy plant, rat, cat, eagle, paddy plant, rice bug, frog, cat, eagle. We can write anything. We'll write one. Paddy plant, rice bug, frog, eagle. Right, children? Name the followings of the above food chain. Now I will write here the food chain we wrote so that we don't have to go to the other side. Paddy plant, rice bug, frog, eagle. Right, children? Who is the producer? Producer is always the first link, the green plant. That is the paddy plant. Paddy plant. Herbivore, the second link always, rice bug. Carnivore, now here frog and eagle, we can consider straight away eagle, okay? Frog or eagle. Number of links, which means number of organisms. 1, 2, 3, 4. First link, second link, third link, fourth link. Number of links, 4 links. First consumer. Now this one is the producer. Paddy plant is the producer. All the others are consumers. First consumer, second consumer, third consumer. So first consumer you have to write rice bug. And the second consumer is the frog. Right. So that was a very easy question, right? We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 8. Green plants produce food for the world. Which source of energy supplies energy for the above process? You all know that green plants can produce its own food and this is known as photosynthesis. What supplies the energy for photosynthesis, children? That is sun, right? The sun supplies the source of energy. Using sunlight, photosynthesis is done. Okay, there are 4 factors affecting photosynthesis. What are they? Sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide gas and water or soil water. Okay, children? So, energy is obtained by solar energy or the sun. Okay? Which source of energy supplies energy for the above process? The sun. The sun. What is the above process done by plants called? It is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Right. Number 3. Write the main factors affecting the above process. There are 4 factors affecting. Now we all know. We'll write number 1. Carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas absorbed from the atmosphere or air. Number 2, soil water. Number 3, sunlight. Number 4, chlorophyll. So the green color pigment in the plants. Chlorophyll. Okay. The main factors affecting the above process: carbon dioxide gas in the air, soil water, sunlight, chlorophyll. Right? We'll move on to the next. Right. Exercise number 9. Write 2 causes of competition between animals. Animals compete with each other to fulfill their needs. What are these needs? They compete for food, for habitats, right? We'll write for food. Number 2. For habitats. Okay. Next one. Write 2 food chains that can be seen at the following locations. Now this also you all are very familiar with. We did these type of examples, right children? Okay, forest. Let's write plants. Rabbit. Fox. Leopard. Right? Home garden. You can write grass. Grasshopper. Frog. Rat snake. Okay? Forest. Rabbit eats plants. Fox eats rabbit. Leopard eats fox. Right? Home garden. Grasshopper eats grass. Frog eats grasshopper. Rat snake eats frogs. Right? We'll move on to the next. Right. Number 10. Again a set of animals. Butterfly, tiger, myna, it's a bird, human, deer, crow, squirrel, eagle, dog and lion. Right? Categorize the above animals in the following table. Now this is super easy. We'll do this. Herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. Right? Butterfly sucks nectar from flowers, therefore it's a herbivore. Butterfly. Tiger, definitely a carnivore. Myna is an omnivore, children, just like the crow. Myna. Human, also omnivore. Deer, herbivores. Crow, omnivore. Squirrel, herbivores. Eagle, carnivore. Dog, omnivore. What about the lion? A carnivore. So did we put everything? Butterfly, tiger, myna, human, deer, crow, squirrel, eagle, dog, lion. Butterfly, deer and squirrel herbivores. Tiger, eagle, lion carnivores. Myna, human, crow, dog, omnivores. Right? Okay. Name an animal that has become omnivorous because they live with human beings. What is the animal? Dog. Now, dog originally belonged to carnivore family. But because living with the humans for a long period of time, they have become omnivores now. Dog. Number 3. To which column does the cockroach belong in the following table? Cockroach is an omnivore. Therefore, it belongs to omnivore column. Omnivore. Right? Exercise number 11. Write the food chain associated with a pond. Very easy now. I hope you all have done this right. Okay. Okay, we'll write aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. Tadpole. Fish. Stork. Right? Aquatic plants eaten by tadpole. Fish feeds on tadpole and stork feeds on fish. Right? How many consumers are there in the above food chain? Always the first link is the producer. All the others are the consumers. So how many consumers? 1, 2, 3. 3 consumers. After all the tigers in the forest died, the deer also gradually died. Explain the reason why. What is the reason? Now we all know that tigers depend on deer. If all the tigers die, the number of deer, what will happen? The number of deer will increase because they don't have any predators to kill them, right? But at one point, what will happen when there's a maximum number of deer? They will not have enough food because there's only a limited forest cover or limited amount of plants to feed on. So at one point, when there is the present cover of plants is not enough for all of them to feed, what will happen? They will gradually die, right? We'll write the answer. Now, I hope you all have completed writing the answers for this one as well because we have already discussed this earlier. So, you have to clearly write the answers, okay? After all the tigers in the forest died, the deers also gradually died. Explain the reason why. After all the tigers die, the number of deer will increase at first as there are no tigers to feed on them. However, at one point, there will be no enough food or plants for the deer to feed on. Therefore, there will be a competition among deer for food, and the deer also gradually die. Okay? After all the tigers die, the number of deer will increase at first, as there are no tigers to feed on them. However, at one point, there will be no enough food or plants for the deer to feed on. Therefore, there will be a competition among deer for food, and the deer also will gradually die. Right, children? We'll move on to the next. Right. So this is our last exercise for the lesson. Answer the questions using the following picture. Use one animal name for one answer only. Right? Now we are familiar with these type of questions. Look at these animals: a frog, a snake, bat, elephant, parrot, grasshopper, deer, cockroach, cock, dog, and earthworm. Right? Name 2 omnivores. Who are the omnivores? Here we can write dog, cockroach, cock. We'll write dog, cockroach. So you can write one answer, one name only once, right? Name 2 herbivores. Here we have herbivores here. These 3 are herbivores. Let's write number 1, elephant. Elephant. Number 2, parrot. Right? Okay. Name a soil animal. Who's the soil animal? Even in one earlier questions also we discussed about a soil animal. Here, earthworm. Right? Name a soil animal. Earthworm. Name a carnivore. Now I told y'all all the snakes are coming under carnivores. Okay, so we can write here snake. Right. The figure shows an animal completing its life cycle in 2 habitats. What animal is that? Remember, children, the animals who complete their life cycles in 2 habitats, specifically in water and land, are known as amphibians. Who is the amphibian here? Y'all can see there's the frog, right? Do you know what the life cycle of the frog is, children? Now, the adult frog lays eggs in water. So, from the eggs, a tadpole will come out. Tadpole. And then the adult frog. Okay. So the adult frog lays eggs in water. Tadpoles also live in water, but the adult frog lives in the land. Therefore, frog, the figure shows an animal completing its life cycle in 2 habitats, in water and land. What animal is that? Frog. Right, children. Now we have completed the entire lesson. So we learned a lot of interesting things about animals, plants, and their interactions based on food. And we learned how to write food chains and food webs as well. I hope you all enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you all answered all the questions. So when you go through the questions, if you did not get it right, certain questions you must have done wrong. So those type of questions, what you have to do is you have to go through the lesson again and try to answer those type of questions again, and you will understand the lesson better.